Hello, friends. You know, it is always a privilege for me to be able to share a word of encouragement with you near the beginning of a new school year. So I want to again thank Brian Van Tassel for another invitation to do so. Now, whether this is the start of your first, fifth, or 25th year in education, it is undoubtedly the most unique. I bet for most of you this typhoon day this week was a welcome respite from what has been a frantic pace. At this point, you may be echoing the words of one of ICS's former teachers who, while prepping to teach virtually in the U.S., recently posted this on social media. I am realizing that my job title should now be Online Content Creator. So today I'd like to encourage you with a familiar text about someone who is also feeling overwhelmed. Listen to Luke chapter 10, starting at verse 38. As Jesus and his disciples were on their way, he came to a village where a woman named Martha opened her home to him. She had a sister called Mary who sat at the Lord's feet listening to what he said. But Martha was distracted by all the preparations that had to be made. She came to him and asked, "Lord, don't you care that my sister has left me to do the work by myself? Tell her to help me." "Martha, Martha," the Lord answered, "you are worried and upset about many things, but few things are needed, or indeed only one. Mary has chosen what is better, and it will not be taken away from her." Unfortunately, we've probably all heard interpretations of this story that set up a false dichotomy between busyness and contemplation. You may have heard it preached as Mary good, Martha bad. But listen carefully to Jesus' response to Martha. We read that Martha was distracted by all the preparations, and when she complains to Jesus that Mary was not helping, his response is, "You're worried and upset about a lot of things, but there's only one thing that you need to worry about." You see, the work Martha was doing was absolutely appropriate. Hospitality, welcoming guests, welcoming the stranger, was an important part of God's instructions for the Jewish community. She is not being busy for the sake of busyness. Instead, she is actually working in service to Jesus. Jesus is not criticizing Martha for working too hard. Work and service are good and necessary. You all know that. And I suspect that you have worked even harder than usual these past few weeks. No, Jesus is calling out Martha's worry and the fact that she has become distracted by the work itself away from the purpose of the work. Martha had lost her focus, the one thing that was important, Jesus himself. Last month, the Barna Group in the U.S. released survey data revealing that over the course of the pandemic, regular Bible engagement has decreased significantly. The survey also showed that 1/3 of regular churchgoers have stopped participating in online worship services. I guess all those people that learned how to make sourdough bread during the pandemic were not picking up their Bibles as much. Well, we all know the reasons, don't we? Most of your churches are doing online worship services, and while they are good, it's just not the same. Not many small groups are meeting in person. There's work from home and Zoom fatigue. It's just harder to stay engaged with the scriptures and with other Christians. You know, I've been seeing a lot of chatter lately about plants, people selling plants on Checkman shares and people checking out the flower market. So today I would like to encourage you to spend some time tending to your spiritual garden. Maybe you need to invite someone over on Sundays to watch church online together in order to keep you accountable to worship. Think about someone, maybe a friend, church member, colleague, who you can share prayer requests with on a regular basis and pray together. Or maybe invite a friend to meet regularly and simply just read a chapter of Scripture together and pray. If you don't have a small group of Christians to meet with on a regular basis, well then reach out to a few people in your circle and see if you can get something started. Well, we'd like to help too. Brian Van Tassel has asked me to start a spiritual formation group for ICS faculty and staff. I'll be introducing many different methods of prayer and engagement with the scriptures and other spiritual practices that will help you to deepen your walk with Christ and to keep your focus on Him, the one thing. I look forward to sharing my experiences with you and helping you develop in your spiritual journey. So please contact me or contact Brian if you're interested or even curious about this group, and we'll follow up soon and work out the details. I am truly humbled by the good work that all of you do for the kingdom here at ICS. And don't let the distractions of the work itself become more important than the King of the work himself. May grace and peace be with you all in this new coming school year.